During his time on the set of The Voice, Snoop Dogg is settling in and making himself at home. The rapper, who had joined the show as a judge and mentor for season 26, went through a rite of passage on the reality show as he shed tears in front of the entire nation. Following the conclusion of the competitor Kendall Eugene's performance of Morgan Wallen's Don't Think Jesus, the moment that may be described as emotional occurred. Although it appeared that the judges were enjoying the performance, none of them turned their seats around to invite Eugene to become a member of their team. On the other hand, it appeared that coach Reba McEntire instantly regretted making that choice. The statement that she made was, "I don't understand why I did not turn around." During the time that the coaches were providing input, McEntire shared with Eugene, "I liked everything about it." When asked about it, McEntire responded, "I was going to say that exact same words." A coach replay button, which enables coaches to change their minds about a singer, is a new trick that has been introduced in this season of The Voice. This is a fortunate development for both Team Reba and Team Eugene. After realizing that she had made a mistake by not selecting Eugene, McEntire made the decision to make history on The Voice by becoming the first coach to use the new replay option. This year, we have included a new feature, which is a button that refers to the coach replay. In response, McEntire stated, "I'm going to use mine." As soon as she pressed her button, the audience erupted in applause, and Eugene covered his face with his hands, expressing both shock and comfort. Snoop Dogg was unable to handle the magnitude of the emotional situation. "Wow," his advice to McEntire was to go give that man a hug. When the camera swung back to Snoop, it was just in time to catch a glimpse of the rapper lifting his spectacles to wipe his eyes. McEntire and Eugene were engaged in a passionate embrace. This was a wonderful moment on an emotional roller coaster, and it was a sure sign that Snoop is going to be a perfect fit for the role of judge and mentor on the show. There was no one who could have imagined the dramatic turn of events that took place on The Voice when country music superstar Reba McEntire joined the stage. It was a night that everyone will remember. Reba, who is coaching for the first time this season, has brought her signature charm, wisdom, and passion to the game. Nevertheless, on a recent episode, she not only left her fellow judges stunned, but she also reduced the audience to tears with an unexpected and heartfelt gesture that demonstrated why she is adored both on and off the stage. What you need to know: a night of high stakes. On The Voice, the evening started off just like any other, with the top contestants competing for a coveted spot in the next round of the competition. Reba, along with her other coaches John Legend, Gwen Stefani, and Niall Horan, was prepared to mentor and analyze performances, providing wise guidance and encouragement to the individuals involved. The level of competitiveness was rising, and every coach was cheering really hard for the members of their own teams. Reba's team had already been making headlines this season, and she had a reputation for connecting with her contestants on a very personal level. This season ended with Reba's team creating waves. As someone who was known for her nurturing nature, she frequently went above and beyond the role of a coach by diving into the personal tales of her team members in order to bring out the best in their performances. The show that completely transformed what was possible. During a performance by Sarah Daniels, a young singer-songwriter from Tennessee, who is a part of Reba's team, the event that brought about the emotional response occurred. For the sake of paying tribute to her mentor and demonstrating her versatility, Sarah had made the courageous decision to play Fancy, which is one of Reba's most famous hits. The dynamics of the atmosphere in the room evolved as Sarah sang. Her powerful vocals and unfiltered emotion brought the song to life in a way that was not just new, but also genuinely respectful of the original. By the time she reached the final note, the audience had already risen to their feet and was cheering enthusiastically. The response from Reba was instantaneous. A tearful look could be seen in her eyes as she joyfully clapped her hands. Nevertheless, nobody was prepared for what came next: Reba's unanticipated hand movement. As the ovation subsided, Reba called out to the producers, requesting that they provide her with a microphone. As she turned to Sarah with a glance that conveyed profound emotion, the room fell into complete silence. Reba began by saying, "Sarah, that was one of the most beautiful performances of Fancy I've ever heard. with a small tremor in her voice. "Tonight, you brought to my memory the reason why I had written and performed that song in the first place. It's about being able to bounce back from adversity, being determined, and discovering your inner power, no matter what life throws at you." Before continuing, she took a momentary pause, her eyes moving across the room. "Because I am aware of how much this journey means to you, I would like to provide you with a unique experience that will demonstrate how proud I am of you." Reba then turned her attention to the audience as well as the other judges. "This song has been an essential component of my career, and tonight I would like to share it with you in a different direction. Would you be willing to sing it with me, Sarah?" The audience erupted in cheers, and Sarah appeared to be completely taken aback by the event. As Reba walked over to her and joined her on stage, she gave a slight nod while feeling tears flowing down her face. An unforgettable duet for the ages. What came next was nothing short of a miraculous occurrence. During the performance of Fancy, Reba and Sarah began a duet, mixing their voices in perfect unison with one another. Sarah's youthful and impassioned tone was balanced by Reba's seasoned and rich vocals, which resulted in a rendition that was both enduring and profoundly emotional. All of the other judges stood there in wonder. The eyes of Gwen Stefani were filled with tears, and John Legend made a gesture of placing his hand over his heart. Despite the fact that he is always quick with a clever quip, Niall Horan was unusually quiet and evidently impressed by the performance. The audience extended a standing ovation that seemed to go on for an indefinite amount of time as the final note reverberated throughout the studio. The young competitor was visibly overwhelmed by Reba's words of support, which were not picked up by the microphones, but clearly meant the world to her. Reba grabbed Sarah closely and whispered their words. How the judges respond. Immediately following the conclusion of the duet, the other judges were ready to express their evaluations. "That was fantastic," John Legend exclaimed, his tone brimming with love for the performance. "You did more than just coach tonight, you also delivered a gift." "Reba, thank you. Moreover, Sarah, you did an excellent job of rising to the situation. Each and every one of us will never forget that particular moment." Gwen Stefani chimed in while holding back a tear as she spoke. "Reba, you just went and shown to all of us why you are a legend. Additionally, Sarah, your talent cannot be denied. Being able to be a witness to this is such a privilege." Even Niall Horan, who is known for his humorous banter, conveyed his praise in a significant manner. "What you just witnessed was more than just a show, it was the beginning of history. Sarah, you have something that is absolutely exceptional, and Reba, you are an absolute queen for accomplishing that." Getting behind the scenes. Why it was important. In the backstage area, Reba discussed the reasons behind her decision to perform alongside Sarah. The statement that she made was, "I've always believed that music is about connection. When I was just starting out, Sarah reminded me of myself. She was full of optimism and desire, but she also carried a lot of weight on her shoulders. I wanted her to understand that she is not traveling through this path by herself." After the event, Sarah, who was still feeling emotional, conveyed her gratitude to the person. "It was like something out of a fairy tale to be able to sing with Reba McEntire, which is something I never ever imagined of doing. Not only is she my coach, but she is also my source of motivation. This is a moment that I will remember for the rest of my life." Fan reactions. Following the performance of the duet, fans flooded social media with their emotions, making it the buzz of the night almost immediately. Short videos of the performance quickly went viral, and within minutes, hashtags such as #RebaandSarah and #VoiceMagic were trending on social media. According to a tweet from a fan, Reba McEntire has just established the benchmark for what it means to be a professional coach on The Voice. That duet was unmatched in every way. Someone else remarked, "I've never shed a tear during The Voice before, but tonight, Reba and Sarah absolutely brought it on. What an absolutely stunning moment. An evening that will live on in our memories." Not only was the emotional moment that occurred between Reba and Sarah a highlight of the season, but it was also a moment that the show The Voice will always remember. The power of mentorship, the significance of connection, and the magic that occurs when artists collaborate to create something remarkable were all on display in this event. Reba provided a fantastic summary of the show as it came to a close. People have the ability to heal, to be inspired, and to come together via the power of music. Today, we witnessed that with our own eyes, and the fact that I am a part of it makes me feel even more proud.